Hello everyone. There is a case that has kind of grabbed my attention and I'm having trouble focusing on other things. So we're going to do a little read on MADALINA COJOCARI. I think I'm saying that right. She is a little 11-year-old girl who is missing, and her mother and stepfather have been arrested recently on the 14th, I believe. Oh no, they were arrested on the 17th because, okay, so the little girl went missing in November. Nobody ever called her missing. The school was reaching out to the mom like, hey, where's the kid? She had missed like 3 weeks of school. So they had to set up a meeting, and the mom had promised to bring the daughter into the meeting, and the daughter never came into the meeting. So the people at the meeting initiated police contact at that point. The stepfather is Christopher, and Christopher went on a road trip to Michigan to retrieve stuff from the family or something like that, right around the time that MADALINA went missing. She is still not found. Nobody knows where she's at right now, and the parents are not saying anything. So let's see what we can get. I want to start by looking into the mom. Okay, so in the 2 weeks leading up to her disappearance, what was the energy between the mom, the stepfather, and MADALINA? So the mom, we have 9 of Wands reversed. The mom was overwhelmed. Something was, we have the King of Wands. And the Two of Pentacles. So the mom was, in the 2 weeks leading up to this happening, the mom was feeling overwhelmed. There was some kind of like lack of compromise happening between either the mom and the stepdad or the mom and the daughter, MADALINA. The mom was definitely feeling exhausted, feeling something was ongoing that was building up, and she just like was not able to deal with it in the way that she was previously. The stepfather was playing some kind of mental game with the mother. There was some kind of mental strategy that he was implementing on the mother for some reason, likely the cause of that overwhelm, or likely the cause of that exhaustion. What worries me here is the card that came out for MADALINA is the Two of Pentacles. So it's about trying to choose an option relating to finances. The video that I watched said that they weren't struggling financially. So it's not necessarily that the parents were struggling, but there was some kind of financial conversation that was going on pertaining to MADALINA between the mom and the stepdad, in the 2 weeks before this happened. Okay, so we're going to look into, the mom is saying that she saw her a couple hours before Christopher went on the road trip to Michigan, and then she didn't see her again. And then she waited for him to get home to ask if he had seen her. And then the mom, after he got home, the mom asked the stepdad, like to his face, if he had hidden her. He said, no, did you hide her? And she said no, which that's like just a giant red flag in itself. But so not only the mom waited 3 weeks for him to come back. Before the stepdad left. So we're gonna do one card for before the stepdad left, then the stepdad as he was getting ready to leave, then the stepdad as he embarked on his trip. Justice, weighing his options. The Moon in reverse. Knight of Swords in reverse. So leading up to his trip, we have Justice. He was trying to weigh an option. Should I do this? Should I do that? What should I do? Or what should I say? Something along those lines. He was dealing with some kind of karma, or he felt like he was dealing with some kind of karma. Likely bad karma, I feel like, because he's in this upright king position, but she's in the reversed 9 of Wands. So it's like he was stressing about something, and his way of dealing with it was to play some kind of mental game on her to get her either to solve the problem for him or to just kind of take it out on her. Probably the second one, but it could be both. But Justice also kind of brings in, well, it's like cause and effect of your actions. So he was dealing with whatever the stressor was for him. It was something that was his fault. And this is prior. And then when he leaves, as he's getting ready, and then as he leaves, we have the Moon in reverse. So it's like, so Justice is truth revealed, and then the Moon reversed is truth being exposed. So it's like he learned something and then put it into practice. Or he discovered something and then took steps to like go closer to what he discovered. Trying to give an example without giving exactly what I'm thinking, because I want to make sure first. Like if somebody tells you about a job opportunity and it's not something that you were thinking of before, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't know about that, and then you take a step to align with that job opportunity, that's kind of what I'm seeing there. Like he figured out something, either figured out a way to what he feels would have been escaping his karma or clearing his karma, or maybe he was dealing with karma and he was like, I need to do this so I can resolve whatever this problem is that karma has created for me. It's like he knew that he was dealing with the consequences of something that was his fault, but he was trying to find a way to get out of the consequences of it. Hold on. Okay, so he figured out something, puts it into practice, and then we have the Knight of Swords in reverse, which is about being forceful, being in a rush. Think of like the White Knight, but in reverse. So like he's being the White Knight for himself. He's getting himself out of a problem. He's getting himself some kind of assistance, some kind of opportunity, some kind of help. But he's being aggressive. He's being forceful. He's being careless with other people. Okay. I'm just gonna put it out there. Let's see what we get. Did Christopher take Madalina with him in the car when he left for Michigan? Was Madalina with him? Knight of Wands in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's like this night was the idea coming to fruition, and then this was actually going through with the idea. It's the same horse, but it went from just a thought to reality, true darkness. He delayed the mom from realizing that she was gone at first somehow. I don't know if maybe he gave her something to make her go to sleep, or not that she's innocent because she didn't report her daughter missing. So I'm not defending her. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. And this is all my opinion. It's like he saw an opportunity to get rid of a frustration that he had, while also finding a way to deal with some karma that he was experiencing from something that he knew was his fault. So it's like he was like, I'm already angry at myself because I'm in this situation because of me, and now I'm frustrated, and I see an opportunity to not only fix my frustration, but also help myself out of this karmic experience that I'm having. But he delayed her from recognizing that this little girl was missing at first. So essentially, my opinion is that he took this little girl with him, but wanted to get far enough away in case the mom called and said, do you have her? That he couldn't be, it couldn't be where she'd be like, oh, stay right there and I'll come check and make sure she's not with you. Like, he wanted to be far enough away. So somehow he delayed her from being able to find out. Or recognizing it, maybe he had her distracted or something, I don't know. But the delay also could be just saying that, like, the mom didn't know that he had taken her when he had taken her. She might have very quickly realized it, or might not have realized it very quickly, but she didn't know that he was going to take her, is what I'm saying. And didn't realize it until he had been a certain distance away. But the Ten of Cups in reverse is family trouble. It's that happy family turned upside down. So in terms of, did the little girl go with Christopher unwillingly? Yes. Yes. What else did I write down? Okay, so going off of my opinion that the little girl unwillingly was taken with Christopher on his trip to Michigan. What was the mother's role in that? King of Pentacles. So we had the upright King of Wands that already represented the stepfather, Christopher. And then the Six of Pentacles, one way. Yeah. Six of Pentacles in reverse. One way. It was him that had the control. This isn't me making an excuse in any way for her, but I do feel like he's playing some kind of mental game where he has her out of out of touch with reality because he has her so wrapped up in some kind of mental game that he's been playing for a long time. But yeah, this is like very clear one way, and it was him that really had the control. What was the mother's reaction when she came to realize that she could not find Madalina? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Lost opportunity. Eight of Cups. The Fool in reverse. Oh. So what was the mother's reaction when she realized she couldn't find her? So the mother was very, there's a recording. I watched the video on 10 to Like's channel about this. That's kind of how I got up to date on it to do this reading. And in the video, there's a segment of, I think it's her the mother talking about her spiritual beliefs. Or if it's not her, it's like someone that she followed. I can't remember which one it was. I didn't listen to the whole thing because I didn't want to get too much in my mind. But essentially, the recording is talking about how in order to reach enlightenment, you have to go through a very traumatic experience. So we have the Fool in reverse, which is about carelessness, which is about being unprepared. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which is about lost opportunity. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which is about moving on. I almost feel like the mom came to realize that the daughter was not there. Let me be very careful about how I say this. The mom came to realize that the daughter was not there and knew right away that he had taken her. Knew that the outcome wasn't going to be good. And accepted that as like a gift that's going to let her reach enlightenment. I know that sounds not all the way right, but that's not everybody thinks logically, and that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that so if he was distracting her in some way, maybe once she realized that the little girl wasn't there, she was like, oh my gosh, that was why he was distracting me, so I wouldn't realize this, or so I wouldn't see him take her, or something like that. But there was some kind of distraction that kicked this whole thing off. But then once she realized the little girl wasn't there, she realized that the distraction was related to it and realized this isn't good. I know what's happening. And almost like she was like, wow, I'm really moving on my enlightenment path because I'm being granted this opportunity to experience enlightenment through this tragedy. Like, that's kind of the mindset that I'm getting here. It's very icky. Please don't think like that. This isn't how you do it. I almost feel like that may be why she wasn't like too gung-ho on getting the police involved, because I don't know, it's a very weird energy. I don't know how to explain it. But the Fool is kind of like getting an opportunity. I don't want to say opportunity because it's a bad word. But the Fool is like something bad happens and then kind of finding a way to use it to your advantage, I guess you could say. Like finding a different perspective that allows you to be okay with the situation in her mind is kind of what I'm getting here. I know I'm being a little slow right now with this because this energy is really hard to figure out. But the 8 of Cups is like trying to find that emotional fulfillment. I really feel like she thought that she was like, that the whole universe was conspiring to bring her to enlightenment, and this is how it chose to do it. And she was not trying to work against it by getting the police involved, is really what I think her mindset was. But I do think that he was playing mind games with her and he was in control. That's not an excuse, but I do believe that her deep misguided beliefs in spirituality played a role in her not reporting this sooner. So the mom did not bring the little girl to the school meeting. What did she think was going to happen is my question. When she went in there, promised to bring the little girl with her, knowing that she couldn't, what did she think was going to happen? 10 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and Strength in reverse. So what she thought was going to happen was that she was going to be able to somehow distract them from the situation. Her plan was, I don't know if she maybe tried to say she was sick or something like that, that like something happened last minute and she couldn't bring her. I didn't see too much on this case. I only saw the one video from 10 to Life that I said. But it's almost like she went in acting nonchalant and the people were like, oh, I thought you were gonna bring the little girl, and the mom was like, oh, she's not feeling well, she's at home, hoping that they weren't gonna press her on it, but expecting them to press her on it. Like, she wasn't naive to the fact that nothing was gonna go bad from this. At the very least, a home check. I feel like that's kind of what she thought was going to happen. I don't think she expected them to call the police right then and there. I think she thought that they were going to set up a home check and that she was going to be able to avoid the home check. But it didn't happen that way. Like, she knew that this was not just going to be let go because she didn't bring the little girl. But I don't think she thought immediate reaction. I think she thought that they'd be like, okay, we're going to send someone out within the next week to check, and then she could just avoid that check and kind of figure out what to do. But they called right then and there, and that was not, I don't think she thought it was out of the question, but I don't think that she thought that that was going to happen. I think that she thought they were going to be a little bit more lenient than that. But she missed 3 weeks of school, so how lenient, you know, can they really be? Yeah, because we have the 3 of Wands, which is like waiting for something. So she thought that she was going to be able to buy time by going in there, acting like it was no big deal, giving them some kind of, oh, she's really sick. Maybe she's like COVID. I don't know what she said, but she gave them some story, or she either gave them a story or was planning on giving them some kind of story that was going to cause them to be like, oh, okay, well, we'll just come out and check on her next week or something like that. But either her story didn't make sense right then. They probably saw right through it because it was such a bold-faced lie. But yeah, they ended up calling that instead of it buying time for her. Yeah. So people were saying that this little girl was very quiet, very reserved. I feel like Annie said something like she dressed in a way that could have been to be hiding bruises or something. I just want to know what if anything, no, hold on, scratch that. What was the home life like? Hold on. Okay, so now we're going to look into this 6 months like from 6 months prior up until like right around when this happened, the mom, Diana's energy while in the home, or energy about the home life, Christopher's about the home life, and then Madalina's. The Chariot in reverse is her energy. Eight of Wands is his energy. I'm telling you, Eight of Wands is like fast communication. He was fast talking to her. He was playing mind games with her of some sort. And then Queen of Pentacles. So the mom, Diana, she felt like things were not moving in the way that she wanted them to, or that things had stopped progressing. There was some kind of problem that was kind of like going on repeat, like a cycle that just kept getting worse, and then it would fade, and then it would get worse, and it would fade. But like recently it had been very, very bad. She was on the receiving end of some kind of aggression. And I do really feel like she was kind of being directed either straightforward or in an indirect way, but she was kind of being controlled via the use of mind games. She was not really sure how to get herself into a better spot or into a better atmosphere. Like she felt stuck for some reason, and her mindset was being weakened. So she was finding it even harder to find ways forward from this situation that just kept happening. The Eight of Wands is fast communication. It's like that rapid movement. So I really feel like I see him as like a really fast talker with her. Like he was trying to confuse her about something. I think that he was kind of using her spiritual beliefs in a way that was hindering her ability to really connect with reality. I think that that's really told by this Queen of Pentacles card here that came up for Madalina, because the energy that Madalina was experiencing in the house was that she wanted her mom to be back in charge again. Like she wanted to feel protected by her mom, but she wasn't feeling that way because we have that mental, being on the receiving end of mental games. And I think it really, her spirituality in this case was his that he was kind of using to manipulate her to either think certain things or agree with certain things or be silent about certain things. He was trying to convince, hold on. Tower in reverse and Ten of Swords. Christopher was trying to convince Diana that they needed to do something with or about Madalina. And she was not on board with it, and he was playing some kind of mental game to try and get her on board with it, and she wasn't getting on board with it. So eventually he was like, I'm just gonna take her. Trying to think of how much of what I'm thinking I should let out of my mouth. This doesn't necessarily have to be it, but this is what's really prevalent in my mind. It would be like, and this is an example, but it's an example that might be more than just an example. There's a possibility for this example to be literal, or there's a possibility for this to just be an example. And again, this is my opinion. This would be like, for example, if he wanted to sell Madalina and presented this, or let's, yeah, that's the word I'm going to use because that's what it is. And maybe he brought it up to the mom and the mom was not on board with this. This may have some connection with the spiritual group that she's a part of, and it may not. I don't know. That might be what he was using against her from her spirituality. I don't know. But he presented something to her and she was like, no. And he had thought that he had enough mind control over her that she would just go along with this, because he thought that he had laid the groundwork for her to not have another option. Like a weakened mental state would just make her go along with it, and she didn't go along with it. And that's why when he took her, the mom just kind of accepted, oh, I know exactly what I know he took her, because he had asked me and I said no, and that's why she wasn't surprised by it. Because 10 of Swords is like, she felt stabbed in the back by it. Like I said no, and you did it anyway. And he might not have done what he might not have taken her and sold her. He might have done something else. But like, that was the option that he had previously presented, is what I'm saying. So he presented an option, or he presented an opportunity, or he presented an idea to the mom. The mom said no. But then when the little girl went missing, she was like, I know he took her. I know something bad has happened, because he already pretty much asked me if I'd go along with it, and I said no. But he has the control in the situation. So she was like, I know it's too late. Like, because there was a distraction in the beginning, and then she recognized the distraction was relating to me not catching him take her. Yeah, because if he already presented something to her, like, hey, let's do this with her, and the mom said no, he can't just very well walk out of the house with her, because she's going to be like, no, I said no, like, no. So he distracted her or made her go to sleep some way. I don't know how it was, but she was distracted when he initially took the little girl. And then when she realized that she was missing, she was like, it all clicked. Oh, the distraction was to keep me from seeing her. I know that he took her, and I know there's nothing I'm going to be able to do. I want to look at this. I didn't look up, I actually forget what state this is even in, that this is happening. Because again, I didn't want to look too much into it, because I wanted to just channel and not form opinions. Let's break up. So, okay, so his house is here, and wherever he was going is here. He was going to Michigan. I forget where he was leaving from, but whatever that drive is, we're splitting it into 3. So 1, 2, 3. So we're going to look into the first, second, and third portions of his drive and what happened. I'm going to pull 2 cards for each. So 2 cards for the first, second, and third of his drive. Have the Magician. And the 6 of Wands. So he took steps to make whatever he was thinking or planning a reality, and he got away with getting her out of the house and getting her into the car. He was feeling successful. He was feeling like, okay, I actually did it. I'm putting this plan in motion. Somehow he knew that the mom wasn't going to call the cops, though. I don't know if they talked or if he just knew that he had her mentally in a pretzel enough. But he knew that she wasn't going to call the cops because nothing happened in this first part of the drive. Then we have the Seven of Cups in reverse, which is about alignment and like not letting yourself be distracted, and Two of Wands. Okay, so we have the Seven of Cups, which is about, holy crap, I'm actually doing this. I'm taking steps. So the first part of the drive, the first third of the drive, he was like, okay, I did it. I got away with it. Second part of the drive, it was like, okay, I'm going to start to do whatever the next step is. So he started to put the plan, the next steps of the plan in action begun in that second third of his drive. So not the first third, the second third. And then the Two of Wands is about a choice that he had to make. So, okay, so if he presented something to the mom said no, and then he was getting ready to go somewhere and was like, I'm just going to grab her and bring her with me. I'm getting my way. Took her. Then at that point, he had the choice to be like, should I kill her? Or should I do what I was originally planning and sell her? Or whatever else it was. I can't really think of anything else it would be. Again, my opinion. This is all my opinion. So then he had a choice in that second third of his drive. Seven of Swords. Betrayal. As well as strategy. Two of Swords in reverse. So he was coming up with it. Okay, so he was like, should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or do I do that? Oh crap, I actually got away with it. I got her out of the house. We're in the car. I'm far enough away, or I'm getting far enough away that there's not going to be anything that the mom can do. Somehow he knew that she wouldn't call the cops, but maybe he thought that she would trace his route and follow him or something. I don't know what it was, but he knew that she wasn't going to call the cops, but he was worried about being too close before she realized. And then he's like, okay, everything's starting to fall into place. What should I do? Should I do this option or do that option? And then so these last two cards are making me feel like whatever he decided went according to plan. He feels like there won't be proof that's able to come back on him, or he feels like whatever happened in that time period went according to his plan or went well. But whatever he did happened in that last third of his drive. So again, if you were to take his entire travel route from start to finish, you're not going to find that little girl in the first or the second portions. It's going to be in that last third of his drive that either he made a transaction in that space or she's in that space. Hold on. Sorry, my son. It's snack time. But yeah, in that last portion of the drive is when the conclusion happened for his time with the little girl. So essentially him, Christopher, and Madalina went separate ways. However that happened, either alive or not alive, they went separate ways within that third section of his drive. Should I go there? I guess I have to, huh? The last hour that Christopher spent with Madalina before they parted ways, what was happening? King of Swords. That's his energy, and that's also a sign of a card about mental clarity. So, as I said, he was playing mind games with her. Now he was kind of Nine of Cups. Huh. Page of Cups reversed. That's a very clear picture, because this is Christopher's energy. He's he's abusing his power. He's in control. He has the upper hand. Something that he wanted to happen, happened. Whatever his desired outcome was, is what happened. And then this is Madalina's energy. She poured out emotions. She was either very upset or very scared. I don't know why it's not letting me see past that to what happened. Let me see if I can get anything else. Let me pull 3 more cards. Clarifier for the King of Swords. Four of Cups in reverse. Yeah, that's another card about clarity. He really, I'm leaning more towards, especially with the Nine of Cups, I'm leaning more towards like a sale and away from murder in this case. I still have 2 more cards to pull here, but the Nine of Cups is like getting what he wanted out of this. It's about being happy with the outcome, which I guess could be murder as well, because there's some kind of frustration from Christopher to Madalina. There's like a very intense frustration. But the Four of Cups being in reverse is like, okay, I found a new way out. I found something that could help me out here. And it's also a Cups card, which the Page of Cups is also reversed. And the Four of Cups in reverse is like retreating from something. So like something happening and then kind of falling back. Clarifier for the Nine of Cups. So this is the card that's saying his wish came true. So what was his wish? Five of Swords in reverse. Peace after trouble. Oh. Yeah, my eyes are getting watery. I'm right. It's a debt. He owed a debt to somebody. He owed a debt to somebody. Let me pull a card for that. Clarify that he owed a debt for somebody. The Devil. The Star in reverse. He lost his way. Six of Cups in reverse. It's something from the past. He owed a debt to somebody. He owed a debt to somebody. He owed a debt to somebody and they were going to collect one way or another, and he tried to get the mom to agree to help him pay the debt off in some way, and she was like, no. He owed a debt to somebody. And this person wouldn't let it go. It's something that the other person, well, I mean, not a lot of people will let debts go anyway, but like this person was very persistent about it. And likely, oh, I kept saying something kept coming up and going around and around. They were getting pressured by somebody to pay this debt. There's a debt owed. I still didn't get a clarifier for the Page of Cups in reverse. King of Cups. I'm feeling like she was handed off from one male to a male that was pretending to be nice. She was scared of Christopher. She was scared of Christopher. Christopher handed her off to another male in that third section of his drive. And that male at least presented to Madalina like, oh, a nice person. Clarifier for that. 5 of Wands in reverse, yeah. Oh, I know you're scared. Come with me. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna help you. Five of Wands in reverse is also like agreements. So, did I write anything else down? I believe, and I'm probably going to do a follow-up on this. I just wanted to kind of keep it short because I really wanted to kind of, once I do a reading on something, I can better understand the energy that I pick up when I do see like things on the news about it. Like it'll kind of, think of it like laying all the puzzle pieces on a table. And then once I see other things, those puzzle pieces start to like jump into place in the puzzle. So I really want to get this just out because I want to have that table set up so that pieces that start coming in can make sense. So I am going to do another reading on this. I'm feeling like I mean, of course something could have happened upon a potential handing off from one person to another. It's possible, but I'm really feeling more like in that third section of his drive, he handed her off to another individual, another male individual that came across being very nice. Especially because she was scared of Christopher and wanted her mom to protect her from Christopher. So this male figure was like seemingly protecting her from Christopher. Because I'm feeling like for some reason I'm feeling like she was more scared when she was on the drive with Christopher. But then the other person made her feel more comfortable. I'm not getting what happened after that though. I'm not saying that person has good intentions. I don't really believe that they do. But they just were coming across to her that way, I think, because they knew that she was scared. I want to ask like where she is right now, but I am feeling like I'm not supposed to do that right now. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I get a little bit more information and look into the case a little bit more now knowing this. And then we'll go into more of what could be going on right now in terms of where she could be and the police investigation. But right now, what I do feel, and again, my opinion, I believe that Christopher distracted Diana and had her mind warped so that she would not call the cops. And he knew that, and he just needed to get far away with the little girl because he had asked Diana if they could do something with the little girl, and she said no, but he said, okay, I'm just gonna take her anyway. And she knew, Diana knew that he had taken her and that something bad was gonna happen, or that she wasn't gonna get her back. She knew what he was planning because he had asked about it and she said no. And he had control. So she didn't call the cops. I think she was maybe hoping that he would have a change of mind and bring her back, knowing that that probably wasn't the reality. The school meeting that she said she was gonna bring the daughter to and didn't would be her trying to buy time, thinking that they were gonna later set up a home visit and not reacting in that moment like they did. The home life was definitely not great before this. She felt like she wanted her mom to step in and save her from this feeling that she had that just didn't feel comfortable, didn't feel at home, didn't feel safe. And she saw her mom wasn't like doing that or able to do that. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Again, I'm gonna do a follow-up on this one because for some reason this one's really like getting to me, like calling to me. I feel like there's something trying to come through. But right now, I would say that third portion of his drive is what we really want to be looking into for any stops, any tracking on him. He had that little girl and did something with her in that third section of his drive from his home to Michigan. Whether she's still there now, unalive, or whether he handed her off to someone in that area, I'm not 100% sure on that yet. I really do feel like he handed her off to someone in a transactional sense. I'm gonna wait to go into what happened after that because I'm feeling like there's something I need to see that's gonna help other pieces make sense when I do this. I'm very strategic about when I watch things and when I just let my channeling be clear. So I'm gonna absorb all this, dive into a little bit of research, and then I will do a follow-up on this when I feel like it's time to do one. But if you are someone who is looking into this case heavily, look into that third portion of his drive from home to Michigan. That third of his drive is where something happened. Yeah. Talk to you guys soon.